Every single AI model you ever used, I mean, every iPhone ever made, every chip inside every data center running on the internet right now, all of it, it all depends on one company. And if something happened to that company, say tomorrow, or say it's a natural disaster, a political crisis, or anything, the global economy would effectively stop. Not slow down, stop. And I'm not even being dramatic. That's just the reality right now that we're living in. So I went down this rabbit hole a few months ago, and I really could not believe that so many people, even working in tech, have never heard of this company before. So that is what this video is about. Okay, so to understand why this company matters so much, we need to talk about chips for a second. And I know, everyone right now is talking about chips, but for good reason. Stay with me, because the most of this conversation happening around chips that's happening right now is missing a really important part. So basically, every piece of modern technology runs on a semiconductor. Your phone, your laptop, your car, the server that's running ChatGPT right now, all of it needs chips. And for a long time, the way we made chips better was just, well, we'd shrink them, make the transistors smaller, fit more of them on the same piece of silicon, and boom, more performance, less power. That's it. That was the whole game for like tons and tons of years, 50 years. Now, here's where it gets really interesting though. We are at a point where transistors are so small. I mean, we are talking 2 nanometers, 3 nanometers, that we were, and actually IBM just announced, I think, 1 nanometer. Let me confirm, I'll put it up here if it did. We're literally facing now physical limits, and machines that are required to do so, they are some of the most complicated objects that have ever been built by human beings. I mean, that literally. The one company on earth that makes those machines is ASML, one company. And many of us have never heard of it, which I completely understand why, because up until I really went down this chip rabbit hole, I hadn't either. First of all, they're based in the Netherlands, which is not exactly the first place you'd think when you think about the future of AI. But ASML makes something called EUV lithography machines. Now, lithography is basically the process of printing circuit patterns onto silicon. Think of it like a really, really, really precise projector, except instead of projecting a movie, it's projecting the blueprint for a chip. And EUV stands for extreme ultraviolet, which is the type of light these machines use to do the printing. But here's the thing that kind of broke my brain, if you will, when I first learned about this. EUV light doesn't exist naturally on Earth in a usable form. So ASML had to figure out how to generate it. And the way they do it is, okay, this is going to sound made up. They shoot tiny droplets of molten tin with a laser, twice. The first laser shapes the droplet. The second laser vaporizes it. And that vaporization produces EUV light. How cool, it's incredible, it's so cool. Okay, so now that light has to travel through the machine and land precisely on the silicon wafer to print the chip pattern. And this is where it gets even more crazy, if you will, if it can. EUV light cannot be focused with lenses the same way normal light can. Normal glass absorbs it, so ASML had to build a system of mirrors instead. And not just any mirrors, these are the smoothest, most precisely manufactured objects in the history of human civilization. Everything I'm saying sounds so dramatic, but it's true. And I want you to actually picture this for a second. If you took one of these mirrors and scaled it up to the size of Germany, the entire country of Germany, the biggest imperfection on its surface would be less than a millimeter tall. That's how smooth we are talking. Every single atom on that surface has been placed intentionally. And it's not one mirror, it's a series of them, bouncing the EUV light at exact angles through the machine until it hits the silicon. And each mirror has to hold that precision at room temperature, at operating temperature, under vibration for years. Now, ASML has a whole division, a whole team of physicists that are dedicated, and their only job is keeping those mirrors stable. Because even if one mirror drifts by a fraction of a nanometer, the chip pattern is wrong. The chip is ruined. Now, ASML doesn't make all of these components themselves. I mean, a single EUV machine contains about 100,000 individual parts. So ASML sources components from over 5,000 suppliers across 40 different countries. The laser system comes from a company in California. The mirrors are polished by a company in Germany called Zeiss. And Zeiss, by the way, has been partnered with ASML for so long that ASML actually owns a stake in them, because they literally cannot afford for Zeiss to go out of business. or to sell to someone else. The light source, the optics, the wafer stage that moves with silicon with nanometer level precision, different companies, different countries, which means that one EUV machine is not just a product, it's the output of basically the entire global scientific industrial complex, assembled in the Netherlands. And each one, not surprising or surprising, I don't know, depending how you look at it, costs around $350 million. They weigh as much as a commercial airplane. They require 40 shipping containers to transport. And ASML makes at most a few dozen of them per year. That's the entire global supply of the most critical manufacturing tool in the world, a few dozen a year. Now, ASML is extraordinary. I mean, think about what we just spoke about. It's incredible. But they don't actually make the chips. They make the machines that make the chips. The company that actually runs those machines, that actually manufactures the semiconductors that the entire world runs on, is TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. And TSMC is a different kind of story. They were founded in 1987 by a man named Morris Chang. And the idea was kind of radical at the time. Basically, instead of designing chips and making them, which companies did, like Intel, for example, TSMC would only make chips. They would be a pure manufacturer, a foundry. You design it, they build it. That model turned out to be one of the most important business decisions in the history of technology. Because what that meant was that companies like Apple, NVIDIA, AMD, they could focus entirely on design and let TSMC handle the incredibly complex, incredibly expensive, and incredibly hard job of actually fabricating the chip. And TSMC got very, very good at that today. Actually, now today, TSMC makes something like 90% of the world's most advanced chips. 90%. Apple's M series chips, TSMC. NVIDIA's H100s that are powering the entire AI boom, TSMC. Qualcomm, AMD, all TSMC. Keep that number in mind, 90%, because it matters for what I'm about to tell you. TSMC's main fabs, their most advanced manufacturing facilities, are in Taiwan. And I think most people vaguely know that Taiwan and China have a complicated relationship. But I don't think most people have really sat with what that means for the global tech industry. Because here's what we're actually talking about. 90% of the world's most advanced chips are made in a relatively small geographic area that is at the center of one of the most significant geopolitical tensions on the planet. And the machines that make those chips, the ASML EUV machines, there are only a handful of them in existence. And getting more takes years. So if anything, and I want to be careful here because I'm not trying to be, an alarmist. I'm rather the opposite. I want to be very optimistic about tech, but also realistic. If anything were to disrupt TSMC's operations in Taiwan, there is no backup right now. There's no plan B that exists at scale. I mean, think about iPhones, AI chips, car semiconductors. All of it would be affected, which is pretty wild to think about. And I think this is why we've been hearing lately about so much around fab construction in the US and in Europe. TSMC is building fabs in actually Arizona. Intel is trying to rebuild its manufacturing capacity. The EU is investing billions in semiconductor manufacturing. So it's not just economic policy, it's genuinely about reducing the risk of having all of this concentrated in one place. Now, let's be clear. Building a fab is not like building a factory. It takes years, it costs billions of dollars, and even when you build it, you still need the ASML machines, and you still need the workforce that knows how to run them. So this is not a fast fix. Some estimates say it would take a decade or more to meaningfully diversify away from Taiwan. A decade. For context, AI is moving so fast that a decade would feel like an eternity. And here's the thing though I keep on coming back to that I find really fascinating. We built this entire world, AI, smartphones, the internet, all of it on the assumption that the supply chain would just keep on working, just keep on going. That the chip shows up, the machines that make the chips keep running, that the one factory that can make those machines stays in business. We kind of just trusted that foundation was solid without really ever looking into it, or that's how it feels anyways. Okay, so I need a tea break here. Now we're looking at it at least, and it's this: one company, one process, one island. I kind of find it actually pretty amazing. The fact that humans figured out how to do any of this at all is genuinely wild to me. The engineering, the physics, the geopolitics, all of it had to line up perfectly for your phone to exist. I really want you to take away understanding how ASML works, how TSMC works, because I think a lot of people are starting to speak about these companies, but if someone was to ask you how they work, could you really explain it, the tech behind it? I hope you found this as fascinating as I did as we really went deep into how it functions and where it's headed. So I want to know, are you interested in this? Are you interested in how chips are made? I kind of want to start visiting maybe some factories and seeing this in real life, or other things as well that people are building, especially when it comes to hardware that is powering AI and technology as a whole. So quantum computing is another topic I'm very passionate about. Anyways, this is me rambling now, but leave in the comments, what other topics do you want me to cover? What companies do you want me to go visit and see? I'm just so excited for where we're headed, and we really need to have a strong foundation as to what these companies are doing and why it is such a big deal before we continue to evolve and build what's next. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, share this with someone who loves tech and wants to learn more about how the chips are made that are powering this entire wave of AI that's impacting our lives. All right, I'll see you in the next video.